President Trump has signed an executive order limiting who can become a U.S. citizen. It expands the definition of who is ineligible for birthright citizenship. Trump says the order is aimed at cracking down on so-called birth tourism. It targets people who enter the United States as tourists with the intention of giving birth on American soil. In June, the Supreme Court rejected Trump's bid to deny citizenship to children whose parents are on temporary visas or in the country illegally.
So we're cracking down very big crackdowns, and this will give us the right to do it in a much more forceful manner. But they've taken birthright citizenship and they've made a joke out of it. And we're actually the only country of size, I think just about the only country, period, that does birthright citizenship. I thought we were going to win it at the Supreme Court. Unfortunately, we had a bad decision, very unfair decision. Our country suffers because of it, and we're ending it a different way.
Well, let's get to the White House. Rosalind Jordan joins us live from there. Can you tell us some more details as to what Donald Trump was saying there?
Well, essentially, the U.S. President Donald Trump signed two executive orders, one specifically targeting birth tourism, as he calls it, by ordering the Secretary of State and the Secretary of Homeland Security to come up with very detailed procedures to deny people the ability to come to the U.S. specifically to give birth so that their children are automatically U.S. citizens under the terms of the 14th Amendment to the Constitution. The other executive order, which includes several other categories of children who would be ineligible for birthright citizenship, include those who are born to people considered alien enemies or members of so-called terrorist groups as defined by the U.S. Department of State, people whose parents were working for foreign embassies and themselves were not U.S. citizens. They would be denied automatic citizenship, even though there is already policy here in the U.S. that strongly limits who can be declared a U.S. citizen if they are attached to someone working for a foreign mission, as well as possibly changing the automatic birthright citizenship status of people born in U.S. territories, Guam, Puerto Rico, the Marshall Islands, American Samoa, among others. That would require an act of Congress, and it's not clear that such a measure would be approved, given that the 14th Amendment to the Constitution is something that would have to be overturned by another constitutional amendment. This is because the U.S. President says that people are making a mockery of the purpose of the 14th Amendment, and that this is his way of trying to prevent people from taking advantage of that provision of the Constitution, because he said it's perverting the notion, and this is all part of his larger efforts to strongly restrict immigration to the United States.
Rosalind, okay, this is the second time he's trying to get this through. I mean, he got knocked back by the Supreme Court in June. So tell us a little bit about why that ruling went against him.
Well, basically, 5 of the 6 Supreme Court justices who ruled against the U.S. president said that there were some 160 years of case law backing the fact that birthright citizenship is legal and appropriate in the United States. One of the sixth justice, I should say, said that the president's efforts to try to ban birthright citizenship on his first day in office in 2025 violated a federal statute, basically saying to the president, if you want to do this, you need to find a way to get a law passed in order to change this process. That said, the U.S. president is still very angry about what he says is a betrayal by the members of the Supreme Court, and he's trying again to put in these restrictions in order to please members of his base who want to see immigration, both legal and illegal, restricted in the United States, if not outright banned.
Rosalind, thank you so much. Rosalind Jordan there joining us live from the White House.